Hello, good day. Welcome back to Conversations with Love. I'm out in the garden this morning. And I got some messages from Isis, and I heard it was actually it was about 4 cards that came out. And she wanted me to go through, have a conversation, essentially. So, here I am. It's a little chilly out here. I'm feeling like going in, but I'm going to hang out for a little bit. This will be an interesting, different recording today episode. I'm going to call it episodes. I do call them episodes. I end all of my recordings with episode because that's what it is. All of them are not the same. I don't anticipate them being the same. I don't expect them to be the same. I'm understanding more and more that, I'm in a very fluid environment. Different things are being called of me to do and ways to respond and show up each day. Be in different places each day. So that is the reason as well that this is audio versus video, because I'm not always in a place that I can take a video. So it works much better this way. And I also think, just personally, it allows for focus, better focus for me, and hopefully better focus for you, for the message that's actually here for you. And you're less distracted by what I got going on physically. All right. So yeah, we got 4. We got 4 messages today. Temple of Carnelian is the first message, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. All right. So, let's see what we have. Temple of Carnelian, you have such strength within you. It is time to trust in your own boldness and courage, taking risks that feel true to your heart, and engaging in practices that make you feel truly and genuinely alive, embodied, and more of yourself, even if not always comfortable, are going to help you live the life you were born to live. All right, so this message is, right off the bat, is saying, like, you got what it takes, you've got the strength within you, but it's time for you to start taking risks. All right, it's time for you to move outside of your comfort. All right, it's time to start engaging in practices. And I say move outside of your comfort, but engaging in things that really spark you, that really bring you to life, that really excites you, that really that you enjoy, where you have fun, where you can feel alive. You're not in this dead energy. Right, you feel inside. You're able to feel the feelings. to feel embodied. Embodied. When I hear that, I feel like feeling in your body, like feeling like you're in your body, like you are full. You can feel in your body like you have, not only are you able to feel emotionally, right, which I think is one component of this message, is that you're able to feel emotionally. You're able to acknowledge the feelings that you have emotionally. You're able to manage those feelings. You're able to regulate those feelings. You're able to channel those feelings, but also that you're able to feel in your body, like you feel in your body. You can feel your feet. You know, you can place your attention there, and you can actually embody that part of your body. And you can, from your feet, then begin to bring your attention upward. You know, you feel in your calves, right? You're steadying your body. You can feel your legs holding you, supporting you. All right, you continue to bring that attention upward to your thighs. Okay, feel in your body. That's what I envision when I hear to be embodied. For you to truly be able to embody the body that you are residing in, that you as a being, that you as a spirit being is residing in. And I'm hearing someone may ask, like, how do you do that? How do you embody more of your body? Or how do you embody your body, period? Movement. Moving your body is a way to embody your body. You get familiar with your body. You get familiar with the muscles, with the ligaments in your body, because you're moving it. And you as you're moving your body, you're actively noticing what's happening in your body as well. You know, movement can be walking, movement can be running, movement can be bicycling, movement can be dancing, stretching, yoga, Pilates, Zumba. I mean, finding ways to move your body is a way for you to really get in touch with your body. All right, let's move forward. So doing these things will help you. They're going to help you live the life that you were born to live. All right, so it says, in the fierce belly of Sekhmet, the lion-headed sister of Isis, the Egyptian goddess of passion, courage, and fire, there is no room for procrastination, self-doubt, or turning back. All right, if you're here right now, if you hear my voice, then there's no turning back. Like, you're here. This is where you are. This is what you're doing. This is where your spirit is at. This is what's happening in your life right now. All right, so there's no turning back. She urges you on to your high destiny, calling you to believe, to keep going, to reach higher and expand wider. You can do so knowing that the temple of carnelian will bring you warm strength, encouragement, and deep trust in your own body wisdom to guide you through any situation or relationship that may arise to test you, so that you can grow into more of your magnificent being. So you may be at this point, there may be things going on in your experience in your life that is giving you pause, that may be giving you reservations, or you are a bit timid about moving forward, because you can feel that you are being moved a little outside of your comfort zone. You can feel that you are being nudged or tugged or guided into a direction that you intuitively know is for your good, but you also know that it's going to require a bit more of you. All right, Sekhmet is here to help you. She's calling you to this higher destiny. Now, I am a proponent of informing individuals that your spiritual journey is not necessarily easy, but you do not need to be afraid of your spiritual journey. You do not need to be afraid of the presence of Sekhmet in your life. You do not need to be afraid of spiritual guidance that arrives, that appears to assist you on your journey. That guidance is there to guide you to your highest journey, not to punish you, not to harm you. All right, so this Temple of Carnelian, this message is letting you know that you're going to have encouragement along this journey. And you're being guided to really trust in your own body wisdom. Now, this body wisdom is really taking me right back to the statement that I just made about embodying your body, because your being, your body is providing you wisdom, guidance at all times. And it's giving you wisdom at various levels. It's giving you wisdom physically. If there are physical manifestations in your body, physical ailments, things of that nature, that is an indication of something that is happening internally, yes, but that is also an indication of something that is happening spiritually. That could be all. Let me back up a second. Physically, if you have a physical manifestation of something in your body, that is an indication of something that is happening in your body internally. All right, that internal. Yes, it could be physical. It is going to be physical, but also it's a representation of an internal, something happening internally with you that could be emotionally, right? Your emotional body, your mental body, right? So it is important that you be in a place where you are able to recognize this body wisdom that's coming forward to you. So in order for you to recognize that, you need to be in tune. You need to be in tune with your emotions. You need to be in tune with your own mind. You need to be able to befriend your mind. You need to be able to speak to it. You need to be able to understand it. You need to be able to trust it. The same with your emotions and your emotional body. Because these things are the body wisdom that you have. If you're not in tune with it, if you're not connected to it, then it's unable to guide you. Or you're not picking up on the clues, better said. I won't say it's not able to guide you, but you're not understanding the communication that's being given to you from your own body. All right, this oracle calls you to have courage in your convictions, to have faith in yourself and your own process, to be fearless as you are assured of victory. Assured of victory. Sekhmet will not be defeated. All right, yesterday, I believe, or maybe it was the day before that, the message that came through from Isis was... I was talking about reverence, giving reverence to those that have walked the path before you. And when I spoke of that, I meant specifically those that have walked a spiritual path before you. These beings, deities, goddesses, whatever you want to call them, but I would suggest to call them by the names that they have earned. They've already walked the path. They know what to do. They've walked this path. They've lived this life many times over. Right? The messages that come forward from them are not messages that are just, words. They are true guidance. All right, Sekhmet will not be defeated. Your victory is assured. It's assured. There's no reason to doubt, which also lends to being able to truly trust. All right, if you're concerned that you are biting off more than you can chew, or are not sure of the path that you are taking, if you are up to the standard, or if you will ever gain the recognition that you feel you deserve, then know that as you enter the temple of carnelian into the fire belly of the lion-headed priestess, you shall be guided to success. Sekhmet comes alive with boldness. Her power grows with courage, and her fire will burn bright in your life as passion, success, and victory. She says fortune favors the bold and guides you to take the leap you know in your heart it is time for you to take. Trust that she will protect your love, heart, and vision, encouraging you to shine most brightly. This oracle also brings a particular message about divine justice. But so let me move forward, and then I'll say what I want to say. This oracle also brings a particular message about divine justice. If you are involved in or witnessing a situation that seems unjust, abusive, or concerning, and are worried that it is not right, the Lion Sister Priestess tells you that it shall be resolved according to divine justice, and there is nothing to fear. Pray to her in unconditional love for help, resolution, and trust. If you feel intuitively to act, then do so. Otherwise, allow her to have her way, as she has done and always will do. There is much more unfolding in life than we can possibly know consciously, and her ways are vast and many. Divine justice always prevails. Okay? Now, that makes me think about the message from yesterday with the warrior card. It was Divine Warrior Spirit. And it was a part of that message that spoke to your warrior spirit having infinite resources and infinite spiritual resources, and being able to go into spiritual warfare on your behalf within the spiritual realm. And I'm getting the same, very similar energy here with this message, Temple of Carnelian and Sekhmet. Again, this divine justice coming through on your behalf. Like, if you're in a situation now, you've witnessed a situation that's abusive or something that's not right. You know that people maybe are, you feel like you have been targeted, or you're witnessing something that's unjust, right? This is saying, pray to this Sekhmet. Pray to her in unconditional love for help. If you're seeing, it's like calling spiritual 911. All right? You see something that's happening, you see something that's going down that should not be, you see something that's abusive, call Sekhmet. Right? For me, what I'm hearing is, don't feel like you need to be the one to intervene. You have guidance, right? Your divine warrior has been activated, which means that you have infinite spiritual resources. Reach out to your resources. If you see something happening, you are operating in the spiritual realm. Reach out to your resources. This lion priestess says that everything will be resolved according to divine justice. There is nothing that you need to fear. Pray to her, reach out to her for resolution and trust. If you feel like you have to act, if you are guided to act, if your intuition or your gut is telling you that you need to act, yes, do so. Otherwise, so if your gut, if your intuition doesn't say, if how your call and response is set up within yourself, your call and response to the universe, your call and response to your higher self, if you don't get something from within yourself guiding you, instructing you to act, then allow Sekhmet to have her way. Allow Sekhmet to do her work. She is stating to you now, she is coming forward to you now saying, this message is saying, that's what I do. I does this. I does this. All right, there's much more that's unfolding in life than we could possibly know consciously. Her ways are vast and many. So, maybe really the what I'm truly getting from here is Spirit is saying, trust your intuition, listen to that, tap into that. And I think that goes back to the earlier message about embodiment and that body wisdom, how important it is for you to be in tune with your body, because then you will have that clear communication. You won't second guess, or you won't guess what your body is telling you, whether you need to act in a situation or whether you shouldn't. You're going to have that clear, you're going to have that alignment, you're going to be clear, you're going to hear, or you're going to feel within your body. You may feel a visceral response in your body. So that movement, getting in touch with your body, embodying your own body is really vitally important here. All right, that's what I'm hearing. Also, if you've been asking any question, the answer is yes. If there's an obstacle in the way of the manifestation of your desire, it will be cleared. Sometimes it's your own ego that is cleared, so don't worry if there are a few bumps on the path. It's just part of the manifestation of desire. Sekhmet assures it will come to pass. In fact, it's already in works. It's already in the process. That's the message. All right, so that was Sekhmet. Peace, 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 peace. All right, so let's go to this next message that we have. Let's see how long we're in. We're 23 minutes already. But it's a conversation. And I appreciate you all being here. I hear a lot of things. Sometimes I wonder, like, why are people so upset? Maybe I read it wrong. But I try not to take offense to it, to the things that I hear. I really think, as I'm speaking on it right now, that my ear simply may be trained a certain way. And therefore, I've been tuned to hear certain things, and I have the ability to tune my ear differently. So that's my work. That's something that that I would like to do, because I don't like to be like, because of the work that I do here, and also, the other work that I do as a mental health coach is, I'm a listener, and I have a keen ear. It's a natural, I say it's a natural talent, but I've also worked at it in various ways, which is the reason why I'm able to show up here in this way. And so because of that, like, there's so much that I hear, and I don't know, I guess it's like, don't pay attention to what you hear, because everybody is always saying something. It's just the nature of life, and maybe people don't necessarily mean harm. They're just, responding the way that they, whatever, how they've been trained to respond to certain things that they see. I don't know. I guess I've been trained to hear things a certain way. So I would like to change that within myself. Like, if someone says something negative, I don't even want to hear it. Like, I don't want to be tuned to hear that. All right, let's get into the second message. Let me go grab my bowl, though. I'm going to clear the space really quick before I move into the next message. So let's do that. Actually, let's just move. I'm really enjoying the slowing down of my days. Not being in a rush. It's really, really nice. Our environments are really important. Yeah, they're really important. Like, the places that we live, there's a certain energy to them. And when you're wanting to slow your life down, it can be challenging to really get into that space mentally, because the environment isn't conducive, the energy. So it takes work. It takes work on your part to adjust your own energy. And I've been working on that for a while. All right, let us clear. Let's get into the next message. Okay, Pyramid of Light is the message that we have. All right. I'm getting there. The Pyramid of Light is a message about psychic protection. All right, step your vibration deeper into love. As a being growing in significant light, darker energies can become more attracted to you. There is nothing to fear and only more mastery and awareness of the power and protection of divine love to experience. Here is guidance on the skills you have within you now to deal with any undesired interference. The Pyramid of Light confirms that energies have been causing interference with your path, and it is now time to end that interference with love and compassion. This oracle brings you confirmation that you are growing spiritually, and as such, there are higher levels of responsibility and skill required of you to continue to thrive and blossom to even deeper places of spiritual expansion. These new levels will feel joyful to you as they bring you to greater personal mastery and freedom from fear. So you are advancing. All right, you are growing spiritually, which means that you have higher levels of responsibility and therefore higher levels of skill that are required for you to continue to thrive spiritually and for you to expand and blossom. I love that it says that these new levels will feel joyful to you as they bring you greater personal mastery and freedom from fear. And the reason that I'm truly loving that is because there are certain parts of this spiritual journey, at least I can speak for myself. I don't want to project onto anyone else's experience, but there were certainly parts of my experience that did not feel joyful. So, the awareness of this message coming forward, and this message, the awareness of this message coming forward saying that you will feel joyful is like, that's amazing. Like, this part of the journey is, you're advancing. This part of the journey is, it's going to be a joyful part for you. This isn't going to be, I'm not going to say it won't be challenging. Let me rephrase that, but it's going to be joyful. It's something to look forward to. Sometimes when you're growing your light, darker energies become more interested in you. This is nothing to be afraid of because no energy can interfere with you without your permission. And if you have unconsciously given permission by action or deed in this or other lifetimes, let me run that back. There is nothing to be afraid of because no energy can interfere with you without your permission. And if you have unconsciously given permission by action or deed in this lifetime or in other lifetimes, You have the choice and the free will to withdraw that permission from a place of peace and love within you right now. I want to take a pause on that because I feel like that is so important to note. The awareness of our lives as spiritual beings on the level that we are becoming aware of in this point in time, I think is one that has not happened before. I just feel like I feel that we're in a place that we've never been here before. You know, the level of spiritual awareness is so heightened. So you may have repeated cycles, i.e. repeated cycles over lifetimes. Like you've gone through similar cycles over several lifetimes because there may have been, you may have given permission for things to, for cycles to repeat. You know, you may have unconsciously committed yourself to lower frequencies, darker energies, maybe not knowing. I'm not saying that you consciously knew it, but in a particular lifetime, you may have done that. Maybe your naivete, you know, not being aware, maybe you committed to that, not fully knowing what you were doing. What this message is saying is that you are in a place right now that you have the free will, you have the choice to know the agreement, the contract is done. The agreement is over. I'm no longer committing to that. I no longer agree to that. I'm no longer participating in that arrangement any longer. You no longer have access to me. You have that choice. You have that free will right now. This message, this pyramid of light, this protection that is around you, right? And let me one moment. Yes, so you have the ability to make a choice at this time, right? No matter what lifetime you agree to it, you don't have to agree to it anymore. Good. The key to handling any energy effective, even that energy which you no longer wish to have connected to your energy field, is to have compassion and respect in your heart, combined with a firm boundary and an understanding of the principles of psychic protection. Right? There are practices which are easy and helpful for you to use to nurture your light and make it easier to go into that place of inner peace and love on a daily basis, and that help to protect and nourish the energy of your home and your workplace. One such practice recommended is the Pyramid of Light. This can be added to any spiritual or inner work practice, and yet will also stand on its own. It can be used on a person, a physical space, or a venue for a special occasion, and even placed around an object. So this message is actually encouraging you to create a practice, a spiritual practice or inner work practice for your protection. All right. If you are hearing my voice, then you already have have developed some spiritual practices for yourself. You are familiar. I mean, you're in the spiritual world. You are aware and understand that you are really what I'm saying is you have already developed spiritual practices for yourself if you're here listening to this. This is an additional layer that you can add on top of any type of protection, spiritual protection practices that you have created for yourself. All right. I'm not going to go through this ritual here, but I may do a separate recording, or I may do a separate recording for this particular ritual for you to add to your own, and you can of course tailor it to best suit you. All right, I am a proponent of you anointing yourself by yourself through your own ancestors, your own spiritual team. So this would simply be a guide. However, again, if you are here listening to this video, then I believe you to be, I believe you to be an initiate of the goddess Isis, and so again, this is a guide that came through her, so you can utilize it in that way if you choose. All right. I really appreciate this message. I do have to say I appreciate this message because it does give guidance, as you continue to grow spiritually. Naturally, darker energies are going to be attracted to you because you are, you're shining your light, your inner light into the world, and so that attracts. And it not only attracts other light beings, but it also attracts those, it's an attracting quality. It isn't really that it only is attracting darker energies. It is an attracting quality. So no matter what environment you're in, you're going to pull that darker energy to you. That's what your energy does. It attracts darker energies to you for a purpose, for purposes of healing. Right? Your being heals because you are of this higher vibration, right? So this is simply saying that you need more protection because as you continue to grow, then more energies are going to be attracted to you. So you need to heighten your protection. All right. Beautiful. All right. Okay, we've got 2 more cards, and I'm actually listening to... Okay, I think we can. Okay. Goddess of 10,000 Names. That's the next message that we got here. I'm hearing you can't hold me. You can't hold me. I'm actually hearing this is for all those who what I'm hearing, these darker energies, the reason that you may feel them and or hear them is because your energy does call them out. Your energy calls them out. Your energy reveals them. Your energy causes the light to be shown on them. And when you feel their presence, or maybe you hear them, it may feel like an attack. It may feel like an attack. You may receive it as an attack. But what I'm getting also, just to go back to the message of Sekhmet earlier, is you don't need to respond. You don't need to react. All right, they want to attack you. They may try to attack you, but they can't. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. So your presence is calling these darker energies out, calling them forward, causing them to have to reveal themselves. They cannot hide in your presence. When they come forward, then they act out because they've been revealed, they've been shown, and so they're going to respond in a way. They're going to respond. They're going to, and I'm using air quotation marks, they're going to try to attack you. They may try to attack you verbally. It may be mentally. It may be emotionally. They may try to escape you, meaning try to hide from you. But you don't need to, you actually don't even have to acknowledge it. I mean, if you feel compelled to in the moment, because maybe the attack is one that it may be a physical attack. If you are in the presence of someone and there is a darker energy, and that energy may try to attack you physically, but I'm not really getting that. I'm getting, take that as it resonates. You know your environment, okay? But they may try to attack you, but you don't even have to respond. You don't even have to acknowledge it. You hear it, but you don't have to speak on it, because there are your spirits, your spiritual team is with you. So as soon as the darker energy shows itself, your spiritual team is already doing their work. Literally, y'all are a team working together. You're showing up places as you are, who you are. You're mixing with people. You're interacting with people. Your being is either resonating with the person, aligning with them, or your being is irritating some darker energy that's there. And that darker energy is going to reveal itself. You're likely going to see it, hear it, acknowledge it, because you are aware, right? You're on a higher frequency, so you're in tune. You may feel it. If you're not intuitively guided to respond, then don't respond and allow your team to continue the work. All right, your work is done. You're just showing up. Being you, doing what you do, whatever you do. That's amazing. That is amazing, yo. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's see if we could let's get to this goddess of 10,000 names. All right, endless emanations of the priestess. Isis, with many names, forms, associations, and expressions, is referred to as the goddess of 10,000 names. A name holds power. It defines and energizes or limits. The names, faces, and roles that you play are just one part of your being, yet you exist beyond them, beloved initiate, as a vast being. You are currently realizing that you are not limited by previous identities you held. Instead, you are becoming more of your whole self. Enjoy the uncovering of even more you. So listen, these last two messages, I'm getting joyful energy. Enjoy the uncovering of even more you. So where you're headed right now, where you are headed right now is one of joy, right? So, you've got your spiritual team with you at all times, like coming through, handling business. And to me, it sounds like you're just enjoying your life. Like you are out here, you're doing the things that you enjoy doing. You're getting outside of your comfort zone. You're doing a little bit more, doing the things that light you up, doing the things that excite you. All right. Just like Lady Isis, you are a multifaceted, multidimensional being. It is most helpful at this phase in your path that you learn not to attach to roles or identities that may have once held great importance for you or others relating to you. It does not mean that you must cease to relate to that name or role, more that you are realizing it is only a part of you and there is even more of you wishing to express itself right now. The roles you are needing to move beyond might be mother, executive, healer, good person, strong person, always in control, daughter, teacher, or guru, grandmother, and so on. Excuse me. There's nothing wrong with these roles, and you may still express part of your vast self through such roles, but you are at a significant point in your inner development where you are learning that these are not who you are, but simply expressions of the eternal, endless self, uncontainable by any human description. Listen. Where you headed right now? Got us to 10,000 names. Like that. To me, I'm hearing like, you can't hold me. Like whatever has been said, whatever roles, whatever you identify as, whatever has been said about you, however you were seen in your past, however you see yourself now. There's no limit to you. And I'm really getting from this message is like you're being guided to like take your blinders off, like take these limitations off yourself, because the work that you've been doing has you in places, has you doing things that I don't know if you were aware that you had this spiritual team that's been working with you, that has been working with you this entire time, healing. And that's because of the awareness that you have of yourself thus far. All right. That's just up to this point. Now that you have that awareness and you're expanding the knowledge of yourself or the awareness of yourself even more, like the limitations, what? All right. It can be tricky to avoid getting stuck in roles that others prescribe for you or expect for you, and yet your self-definition will become wider and your experience of yourself will be more real and fulfilling if you are open to discovering more of you beyond the person you have considered yourself to be up to now. For this to happen, you must be willing to allow the many and varied faces of your being, your 10,000 names, to begin to emerge in your awareness, to realize that you are more than you currently imagine yourself to be. Trust that the self is, in essence, divine love, and there is great joy in its unfoldment, even if there are challenges to let go of the fears that have held us trapped in certain roles and identities in time. This oracle also indicates that there is a spiritual name waiting for you on the inner planes. So you're going to be however you've identified yourself, the name that you were given from birth, or even if you change your name, there is a spiritual name that's waiting for you on your inner planes. There is a name that you are known by, right? On the inner planes, in that spiritual realm, in that unseen world, there's a spiritual name that's waiting for you that's yours, right? The name may come from various spiritual traditions as a name of a deity or sacred mantra, or it could be an actual name that you can sound out and use in meditation or sacred temple activities with spiritual groups. It may also be a note, an inner awareness of sound, and it can be sourced by going into your heart, almost felt more than heard or spoken. So what I love about this, and I just got to get this out, what I absolutely love about this, especially knowing that our names are powerful and that you have a spiritual name that can be sourced by going in your heart, meaning there's a power to your name. And that name is really a name that no one else knows except you, because it's in your inner heart. No one has access to that. I mean, you could give people access to your mind, but no one has access to your heart, you know. I mean, unless you let someone into that place. And even then, they won't have an inner awareness of it. So I love that, especially off the last message that we got about the protection, is that, you know, there's so much information out here now where you're able to learn more about yourself. You know, you can pull your natal chart, and then there are other systems, human design system, where you're able to learn even more about yourself. And there's so much of our information that is available to people that there are individuals who can tap into who you are. But that name, that spiritual name, what the spiritual realm knows you as, and you being able to tap into that, to have that inner knowing, you being able to find that going in your heart, and it's felt more than it's heard or spoken. That's protection for you. Nobody can duplicate that. Nobody can steal that. Nobody can be taken away from you. I mean, the same as, you know, your natal chart and all that information. Like, you are who you are. It can't be taken away from you. And people can become aware of it, but still, you're you. And no matter how much someone tries to duplicate you or copycat you or mimic you, you know, flattery and all of that, they can never be you. You can't be duplicated. And sometimes your authenticity, your desire and choice and decision to be who you are, to shine in your fullness, to shine in your light, to shine your light, to be who you are, that upsets people because they have not learned how to attain that for themselves. It has nothing to do with you. The spiritual name is coming to you to help you deepen your connection with yourself. Like any other identity, it is just a representation for a time. You do not need to pack up your old life in search of an entirely new one unless your heart deeply guides you with peace and neutrality, that is what is needed for your spiritual growth. More often than not, what the spiritual name offers you is a chance to begin to loosen your grip on your old identity, not throw it away completely, but to also sense yourself in a more expanded light. Whether you consciously and easily receive your spiritual name in meditation or dream state, or through a healing or conversation with another initiate, or whether it remains a mystery, trust that it is in your heart calling you to recognize more of your true self. If you've already been given the spiritual name, this oracle is guidance to not become too attached to that identity either. Names are ways of knowing a being, but they are not the being. This can be hard for us to take on board in a culture that loves to label and therefore understand everything. For the initiate, however, accepting mystery is a part of the spiritual journey into the divine self. Knowing that you will never know all of yourself. The more that you know of yourself, the more there is to know. What comes to mind is the lyrics by Erykah Badu, the man that knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. We only have whatever knowledge that we have is only like a tiny piece in all these readings and messages that come forward, as even though they feel so grand and so expansive, that's still only a tiny piece of what is. You also may be calling, if you've already got a spiritual name, you also may feel like a new identity is calling you into greater expression. All right, so this message is actually coming forward to confirm that for you. If you have been feeling that you're moving out of a identity, out of a role, out of the energy, and moving into something, this is a message confirming that. All right, let me check the time here. All right, let's read this last message. Let's see if I get through this last message here. Stay true and be in your power is a message. Stay true and be in your power. Osiris and Isis, Lord and Lady of divine authority. You are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freeness within you. You do not need permission from anyone to be who you are and live your life as so you choose. This is your divine birthright. Guard it as the precious treasure that it is, and remember that you are a divine being. If you have been feeling that you have to live a certain way, especially if you are hearing, if you're picking up on what people are saying about you, if you feel like you are being judged for the way that you're living or how you have lived, this message is saying you are a sovereign being. You are a sovereign meaning you are the authority of you. You are a sovereign divine being with spiritual authority and freedom within you. You don't need anybody to give you permission to live the way that you want to live. The symbols that are held by Osiris are symbols of divine royalty and dominion. These symbols remind us that within we hold great dominion, spiritual authority, and freedom to be the sovereign ruler of our own self. Now, I am also getting right now that I'm piggybacking off of the message of these darker energies that may be attracted to us. I also understand that you may be meeting parts of your shadow self. All right, that just came forward. We hold great dominion, spiritual authority, and freedom to be the sovereign ruler of our own self. This does not mean that we have to control life or others or even the environment around us, but it does give us complete and utter choice to become as spiritually awake, free, and self-determined as we wish to be, as well as providing us with complete choice as to what our values and actions will be this lifetime. There is no permission required from anyone apart from you to be and live your truth. There are many voices that will test you on the journey from illusory shackles of fear, loss, or abandonment that may hold you back or tempt you into giving your power away from others. You shall awaken from the testing into the realization of spiritual independence within. So that's the reason that I wanted to bring attention to your meeting your shadow self, is because the voices that you hear, right, there are many voices that will test you on the journey from illusory shackles of fear. You could hear a voice that may be a voice of doubt, or a fearful voice that is within you. And so you being aware of your shadow self and how it will show up is a part. I don't want to call it a test, but it's definitely a part of your journey. Understanding that these are just voices that are coming to test you. But you've got to be able to conquer those voices. Right? You've got to be able to recognize that it's an illusion for you to set up in order for you to give away your power, right? For you to feel like, I can't do this, or I shouldn't be doing this, or I'm not qualified to do this, or I don't know enough about doing this, or nobody in my life ever did this, nobody in my family ever did this, or whatever or this is not realistic. Whatever the stories are that these voices will sort of prompt in you. All right, there's more to spiritual authority than just recognizing that it lies within you. There are times when you must act on it, guard it, and protect it, which means recognizing when others seek to exert influence over you for their own reasons, or if you are being manipulated out of your own authority, becoming blind to your own power of choice, and instead believing that things just are the way they are, and you cannot question or query. So we all have spiritual authority. Like it is our birthright. Now that can be programmed out of us, and it has been programmed out of a lot of us. So becoming aware, coming into the realization or the remembrance of that you have spiritual authority is one thing. And it's good. You have to acknowledge that. But once you acknowledge it, also know that you will have to protect it. Like there are times when you may have to act on it. You may have to do something to act, and that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean it needs to be violent. But you do need to protect it. You need to speak up for yourself. Okay, you need to recognize when someone is trying to seek authority, and it may not be that they're even trying to do it for maliciously, but you have to speak up for yourself, because no one else is going to speak up for you, because everyone has their own agenda. Everyone is selfishly focused. They are they're looking through the world through their eyes. So they are wanting things that are beneficial for them first, and then of course how it will also benefit you. Maybe they also think, how will it benefit you? But they may not. So you have got to be able to protect your own interest. That is what I'm hearing here. All right, it says, there are times when life can feel like an assault against your truths, with many challenging you. For those souls who have come to master spiritual authority this lifetime, there is a test to remain true without becoming dogmatic, to honor what you know is true without minimizing, judging, or dismissing the truths of another that are different from yours, but just as true for them. You have the power to create your own reality, and you don't need permission from anyone else to do this. Honor your spiritual sovereignty. Let Lady Isis help you find your spiritual authority and freedom of choice right now. So you've got a lot of assistance, a lot of guidance is really what this message, all the messages that came forward today are stating. Like, you've got a spiritual team that's helping you on in a number of different ways, and you're heading in a new direction. You are being elevated, or you have done the work to elevate yourself up to ascend to higher spiritual knowledge, higher spiritual frequency, therefore requiring more responsibility, more protection, and more intentionality on your part, recognizing that you are a sovereign being. You have full control, and you want to protect that. Okay, so this message has now reached 1:11 on the clock. And so I'm going to leave it there. I want to thank you all. Of course, as always, I wouldn't be able to provide these messages if it were not for you. So thank you to all who are listening. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace.